It was a sunny Monday morning when Uchenna and her 8-year-old daughter, Amara, met their new neighbor, Uncle Chijioke. He had just moved into the apartment across the hall. With his friendly smile and warm demeanor, Chijioke quickly won the trust of the residents. Uchenna, a hard-working single mother, felt relieved to have such a friendly neighbor. Chijioke often greeted Amara with playful jokes and small gifts like sweets and biscuits. Amara was initially shy, but eventually warmed up to him, laughing at his jokes. "You have such a lovely daughter," Chijioke will often tell Uchenna. His words made her feel proud and reassured. As days turned into weeks, Chijioke became a frequent visitor to their home. He helped Uchenna carry groceries and occasionally offered to wash Amara when Uchenna worked late. "It's no trouble at all," he said one evening, waving off her thanks. "I love kids and Amara is such a sweet girl." Uchenna worked long hours as a nurse at the local clinic and often struggled to find childcare. Chijioke offer seems like a blessing. She started living Amara with him for short periods, confident that her daughter was in good hands. "Be good, Amara," she would say before heading out, never suspecting any danger. Amara initially enjoyed spending time with Uncle Chijioke. He had an endless supply of stories and even taught her how to play a local board game, Ayo. But over time, she started noticing little things that made her uncomfortable. Things she don't know how to explain. Chijioke's presence became a regular part of Amara's life. He would invite her to his flat to play games or watch cartoons. At first, Amara looked forward to this visit. "Uncle Chijioke is fun," she told her mother one evening. Uchenna smiled, grateful for his kindness. One Saturday afternoon, Chijioke offered to help Amara with her school project. Uchenna had just left for work, and Amara felt excited about completing her project with his help. He guided her through the steps, and for a moment she felt comfortable. "You are so smart, Amara," making her feel proud. As they walked, Chijioke's compliment began to feel different. "You are growing up so beautifully," he said softly, his tone less playful than usual. Amara felt uneasy, but didn't know why. She kept her focus on the project, hoping the strange feelings would go away. Chijioke began introducing new game that Amara don't understand. "This is just between us," he said with a smile. He asked her to keep it a secret, a request that confused and worried Amara. Amara don't want to upset Uncle Chijioke, so she nodded hesitantly. That evening, Amara sat on her room, feeling conflicted. She loved spending time with Uncle Chijioke, but didn't like how the game made her feel. She wondered if she would tell her mom, but feared that she might get into trouble for keeping secrets. The next time Amara stayed with Chijioke, he asked her to play the game again. "It's okay, it's just for fun," he said. Amara didn't want to play, but she don't know how to say no. This time, the game made Amara feel very uncomfortable. She told Chijioke, "I don't like this game," but he just smiled and said, "Don't worry, you will get used to it." Amara felt scared and wanted to leave. Amara ran to her room and sat on her bed. Her heart was beating fast and her hands were shaking. "I don't like this game," she whispered to herself. She don't know what to do. When her mom came home that evening, Amara stayed quiet. "How was your day?" Uchenna asked. "Fine," Amara said quickly. She don't want to talk about the game. That night, Amara laid in her bed, staring at the ceiling. She didn't sleep well She kept thinking about what had happened. She wanted to tell somebody, but don't know how. The next day, Amara didn't feel like playing or watching TV. She sat quietly in her room, hugging her favorite teddy bear. She thought about the game Uncle Chijioke made her play. It didn't feel right, but she didn't understand why. At school, her teacher, Mrs. Ada, noticed that Amara was very quiet. "Amara, are you okay?" she asked gently. Amara shrugged and said, "I'm fine." But Mrs. Ada knew something was bothering her. She decided to keep an eye on Amara. During lunch, Amara sat by herself. Her best friend, Nena, came over and asked, "What's wrong with you, Amara? You are not smiling today." Amara wanted to tell her friend, but she felt too shy. "Nothing," she said softly. When Amara got home, her mother was busy cooking. "Hi, Mom," Amara said. Uchenna smiled and hugged her daughter. "How was school?" she asked. Amara nodded, pretending everything was okay. She didn't know how to tell her mom about the game. That night, Amara stared at the ceiling again. She thought, maybe I should tell someone. But what if they get mad at me? What if they don't believe me? She felt scared and confused, wishing someone could help her. The next morning, Amara's auntie Ngozi came to visit. Ngozi was Uchenna's younger sister. She loved spending time with Amara and always made her laugh. "How's my favorite niece?" she asked, hugging Amara tightly. Amara smiled a little, but still felt quiet. Ngozi noticed and asked, "Amara, what's wrong? You can't tell me anything." Amara hesitated, but something about Ngozi's kind voice made her feel safe. She decided to speak. "Auntie, Uncle Chijioke made me play a game I didn't like," Amara said softly. Ngozi's smile faded away and she looked serious. "What kind of game, sweetheart?" she asked gently. Amara explained as best as she could. "He made me sit in his lap and he was touching my. Her voice was shaking. Ngozi hugged Amara tightly. "Thank you for telling me, my darling," she said. "You are very brave. What he did was wrong and it's not your fault. I'm going to talk to your mom about this, okay?" Amara nodded, feeling a little better. That evening, Ngozi sat down with Uchenna and told her what Amara had said. Uchenna's eyes widened in shock. "I didn't know," she whispered, tears in her eyes. "I thought he was just being kind." Ngozi held her sister's hand. "We will make sure Amara is safe," she promised. Uchenna hugged Amara tightly and said, "I'm so sorry, my baby. I am so sorry. I didn't know Uncle Chijioke was doing something bad. Thank you for telling Auntie Ngozi." Amara felt safe in her mom's hand. The next day, Uchenna went to speak with the school counselor, Mrs. Chioma. She explained what Amara had told her. Mrs. Chioma listened carefully and said, "You did the right thing by coming to me. We need to protect Amara and make sure she feels safe." Mrs. Chioma helped Uchenna report the incident to the local child protection agency. They promised to investigate and make sure Uncle Chijioke couldn't hurt anyone else. "You are doing the right thing for Amara," Mrs. Chioma said. At home, Uchenna decided to talk to Amara about what had happened. "You did nothing wrong, my darling," she said. "It's okay to speak up when something doesn't feel right. I will always believe you and protect you." Amara felt a little better knowing her mom was on her side. She promised herself that she will always tell an adult if something felt wrong, no matter how scared she was. After everything happened, Uchenna decided it was important to teach Amara about boundaries. One evening, she sat down with her daughter and said, "Amara, I want to talk to you about something very important." Amara nodded. Curious, Uchenna explained gently, "Your body belongs to you. No one should ever touch you or make you do something that makes you feel uncomfortable. If something doesn't feel right, you should always tell me or another adult you trust." "What if they said I shouldn't tell anyone?" Amara asked. Uchenna smiled warmly. "No matter what anyone says, you must always speak up. If they try to scare you, it means they are doing something wrong, and you should tell me right away." They talked about the differences between safe and unsafe touches. Uchenna explained that no one, not even family member, should ask you to play a game that makes you feel bad. Amara listened carefully and asked questions. By the end of the conversation, Amara felt stronger. She hugged her mom tightly and said, "Thank you, Mommy. I feel better now. I will always tell you if something feels wrong." Uchenna smiled, knowing she was helping her daughter feel safe and confident. A few days later, the Child Protection Agency visited Uchenna's home. They spoke with Uchenna and Amara in a kind and gentle way. "You are very brave, Amara," one of the officers said. "What you told your auntie was very important." They assured Amara that they would take care of everything. Amara felt a little nervous, but the officers were kind and made her feel safe. "We will make sure Uncle Chijioke cannot hurt anyone else," they promised. Meanwhile, Auntie Ngozi started talking to other neighbors. She explained the importance of protecting children and watching for signs of unsafe behavior. "We must all work together to keep our kids safe," she said. The neighbor thanked Ngozi for speaking up. They realized that it is important to be careful about who they trust with their children. Some even decided to attend a workshop on child safety to learn more. Amara felt proud that her story was helping others. "Mommy, does this mean no one else will get hurt?" she asked. Uchenna smiled and said, "Yes, my love. You have helped all of us to learn how to keep each other safe." With time, Amara started to feel like herself again. Uchenna made sure to spend more time with her. They played games, read stories, and talk about their day every evening. Amara felt happy knowing that her mom was always there for her. Auntie Ngozi also visited often. She brought books about strong, brave kids and read them with Amara. "You are just like these heroes, Amara," Ngozi said. "You spoke up and helped protect others." At school, Mrs. Ada and the counselor, Mrs. Shioma, made sure Amara felt supported. They checked with her every week and reminded her that she was never alone. Amara started to smile more and play with her friends again. One day, during dinner, Amara said, "Mommy, I want to help other kids like me. Can I tell them to always speak up if something feels wrong?" Uchenna felt so proud of her daughter. "Of course, my darling. Your story can help others." Amara felt happy and strong. She knew she had her family, her teachers, and her community to support her. She realized that no matter what happened, she will always have people who loved and protected her. Months later, life turned to normal. Amara felt safe and happy again. She joined a club at school where kids talked about being kind and protecting each other. She enjoyed sharing what she had learned about boundaries and safety. Uchenna became a volunteer at the local child safety group. She spoke to other parents about the importance of teaching children about their bodies and listening to their feelings. Our kids need to know they can always come to us, she said. One afternoon, Amara came home from school with a big smile. "Mommy, I helped a friend today," she said proudly. She was scared about something, so I told her to talk to her mom. She said I helped her feel brave. Uchenna hugged her daughter and said, "You are such a wonderful girl, Amara. I am so proud of you." Amara smiled, feeling proud of herself too. As time passed, Amara and her family continued to grow stronger. They knew that speaking up and supporting each other was the best way to keep safe and be happy. Amara felt like a hero, and she knew she was never alone. The end. The morals of this story is 1. Always speak up when something feels wrong. Children should be encouraged to trust their instincts and voice their discomfort to a trusted adult when something feels wrong. Silence allows harmful situations to persist, but speaking up can bring help and protection. 2. Trust must be earned, not assumed. Parents and caregivers must be cautious about whom they trust with their children. Even people that seem kind and helpful may not always have good intention. Building trust requires time, observation, and communication. 3. A strong support system is essential. Children thrive when they know they have a network of supportive adults like parents, teachers, and community members who listen to them and act in their best interest. Open communication and education about boundaries help create a safe environment for children. Thank you. If you know you love this story and you want others to also hear about it, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and share with friends and family. This is just to educate more children and bring awareness to our children. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.